Hello. So we are making the pure heart craft for lower class. Now I know we are supposed to have beads, but when it comes to the lower, the PP1, PP2, baby class, when it comes to beads, there's always that aspect of the choking hazard. So what I've come up with is how to make like a 3D heart. I know other classes may have done it, but I want to see how we can incorporate the heart, whether we add beads or not. For me, I would say not put beads. If there was an option, we would have what do you call them, the noodles, like the spaghetti that have the hole in the middle. I don't know what their name is. I would call them the spaghetti, one of the spaghetti types, where now instead of having the beads, then you have that. I don't have it in my house at this moment, so I know that could be a substitute for beads, because even though you start looking for the large beads, it's still a choking hazard, because when you're interacting with children of that age, you need something the size of your fist or size of their fists. That means it can't go through, or they can't, whether they put it in the mouth, it's not going to get into their throat. So we can look into the aspect of having the spaghetti as part of the bead, but in this case you just have the paper templates. I believe you can have, once you have a heart template, you just have this aspect of either tracing it out or either on a full paper you trace it out and cut, or you can just fold it at the edge and then you cut out. So in this case, I've already cut out the different hearts. You can decide whether to work with one color or to have a variety of colors. In this case, if it was luminous paper, luminous means the shiny type of paper. Okay, so we have this. So what I have in mind is, you have several cut out hearts. You have your glue stick. By that time already you have used your scissors, there was a pencil involved somewhere, and then you have thread. So you can either have this thread or you can have what we call fish line. Okay, so this is what we call fish line. So in this case, I'll start with I'll use the thread. So you have your cutouts. I prefer the shiny out. So you'll have glue on one side. So you're gluing the hearts together. I hope you can see it. So you're gluing the hearts together, because this is mainly for lower class, and especially because of that choking hazard. When it comes to beads, unless we get an option for larger beads, I think this would work. So then you glue on one edge on one side, and then you fix the other. So you can just have it this way. If you wanted to, you can even, they can go home with this, but you can make it a little bit fancier. So you just keep adding. It now depends with how many children are there, and then also the helpers, they can make in advance. So you have that. Now before you glue so as you can see, you're having we call the 3D heart. So you already have the heart in the middle. Even though you open it up, already you have this. So you can add another heart template, but in this case you can have it the way it is, and then you now put glue on. You now want to have the 3D effect. So now you can even have the knitting thread. So you ensure that the string is in the middle, and then you now close it up. So that's how you get the thread in the middle. Okay, so you press it down. If it picks out, again, this is just me being thorough on that part. So depending on how many layers of hearts or how many hearts you have stuck together, so you can have, so if you had more, then you can have, but you basically have this. Now the part that I was mentioning about about the beads. If we wanted to, in this case, because of this type of thread, I just needed to make it firm. If we needed to, you'd put the, hope it goes through. Oopsie. Okay, you get, for now, this is, the beads are quite, this is, the thread is bulky. So basically you just have the beads coming all the way down here. So you can decorate and add the beads here. Okay, I think we can try with fish line so that we see how it goes. So before the glue dries, that's why I love paper. So you have fish line, hopefully it cooperates. There we go. Sorry for we are learning as we go. So we have that. So you have the fish line, it's less bulky. Okay, and then we have, depending on the thread or the amount, so you have that. So this is the effect if there were beads involved. But as you can see, the beads are quite small, and unless you are making them, but the other thing is you may make it for the child, but the child will chew on it, and that's why we are saying it's a choking hazard. So for the upper class, like the grade 1, grade 2, this is how I believe we can involve a little bit of beadwork. For the little ones who do not, this will not be a choking hazard, where they will not be putting everything in their mouth. Okay, and then now we can tie it off. Or okay, so I'm learning as I also go. So you can either tie it off or find a way to just continue and then glue it down. But I think that you just need to make it a little bulkier so that the beads don't come off. Yeah, because you're not looking for perfection, we can have that, and then you can chop it at the top, but you can have, so that's what I was making, so that the beads don't come off. So basically that's the 3D paper heart that involves beads for the upper class. But if you are handling the lower class, then try and see how not to have beads. Or if you get the solution of spaghetti or whatever else it is, so that you can just add, and they learn how to thread, then we can put the spaghetti, the ones that have holes. I don't know what their name is. I will get their name. But we can have, I believe that, yeah, that is as close as I can get to this. So I think this will be for lower class. In case of any questions, please let me know. But you can add the hearts. You can make them different colors. You can make them the same color. If the beads are the same, they can choose. It's up to the child. But I believe we can incorporate the beadwork in that way. I think adding more hearts would work. It will be much better than just having that. So ensure always that they write their name so that they do not pick someone else's. And I hope you enjoy the craft. Thank you.